In the world there are all kinds of people. Tall people, short people, cheerful or gloomy ones, and also people who slip on a banana peel. This is how our protagonist catches a girl and asks her if she's okay. The girl, very nervous, tries to apologize and then runs away. Our protagonist, taken aback, says that she didn't have to run, though he's already used to it. He tells us that when he was in 4th grade he grew 30 centimeters. Now he's 1.90 meters tall and says he has stiff facial muscles. He also has a scar on his face from when he was a child, but because of it, everyone thinks he's terrifying. In middle school, rumors started to spread that he had knocked out 30 delinquents with just a look, like he had a king's hockey. Because of this, the poor guy hasn't been able to make any friends. But he tries not to get depressed, telling himself that today is his first day of high school. You only live your youth once, so he'll do his best to have a good time. The protagonist then enters his classroom, but to his surprise, the banana girl is in the same class. Even worse, he's seated next to her. The girl notices the protagonist looking at her and gets very scared. Just then, the teacher arrives and congratulates them on getting in, asking them to introduce themselves. A girl named Ria Kitao introduces herself and says her hobby is playing the piano. The next boy, Shuntaro Hayami, says he will fight to get to the national basketball tournament. Another student, Motoi Ganda, says his favorite subjects are science and math. A girl named Izumi Nishiyuchi says she just wants to focus on her studies. Finally, it's our protagonist's turn. He wants to take it easy and smile kindly, hoping to make some friends. His name is Sada Fushioka, and he says he has been preparing with visualization and will try to show what he's practiced. He says it's a pleasure to meet them and asks them to please take care of him. But with that face, it's logical that everyone is surprised and terrified. Sada then realizes that his face was more rigid than usual, confessing that his sister always scolds him for the same thing. Now it's the banana girl's turn. Her name is Kozuru Shimahashizaki, and she says she unfortunately can't say it's a pleasure, so she's sorry. Everyone is also surprised, and Sada thinks that by saying that, it's as if she doesn't want to get along with anyone. Saying that the banana girl is quite peculiar, he confesses that from that day on, he started watching Kozuru without knowing why. He has noticed that she always seems scared and arrives at school with injuries almost every day. If someone speaks to her suddenly, she panics and then apologizes in a quiet voice. She even sometimes arrives with mismatched socks. Sada can't help but think that she's a bit. At that moment, he overhears some guys talking and saying that Sada is a bit weird. The guys, a little annoyed, say that by the way she acts, it seems like they are the ones bothering her. Sada admits that Kozuru is a bit weird, but he wonders if it's necessary for them to say it like that. He then finds himself in front of them and the very scared guys let him pass. The next day in class, we see that Kozuru seems to be looking for something in her backpack. The teacher wants someone to start reading and asks her to please do it. Kozuru, all nervous, tries to quickly get her book out, but due to the pressure she gets scared and the book flies out the window. Sada can't believe what just happened. The teacher asks Kozuru to hurry up and asks her if she forgot her book, since it seems that because they are seated in the back, no one noticed what happened. The teacher then scolds her, saying those things need to be said beforehand. Kozuru, all nervous, tries to apologize, but then Sada quickly moves his desk next to hers and with a grim expression, tells her they can share his book if she wants. After classes end, he says he feels quite tired. He tells us that after this he tried to help Kozuru look for her book, but she, all scared, tells him not to worry and runs away. Sada, feeling sad, thinks that after all he can't help but scare people, so he'd better try not to talk so much from now on. Then he hears noises in a bush. It's Kozuru who was looking for her book. When she sees Sada, she gets scared again. She literally looks like a cat. Sada tells her that she did find her book, and then tells her he still can't believe what happened, assuring that if someone had recorded it, it would surely be viral. Then Sada remembers that he had promised not to talk so much, so he says goodbye, saying he's glad she found her book. But just as he is about to leave, Kozuru shouts for him to wait. Sada is surprised, saying that she could talk loudly after all. Kozuru, all nervous, asks him why he helped her today. Sada says that he doesn't think he helped her. Kozuru tells him that when the teacher scolded her, she wanted to apologize, but then Sada got in between. So she asks him why he did it. Sada tells her that he did it because he thought she hadn't done anything wrong, so he didn't think it was necessary for her to apologize. Kozuru wonders if she really didn't do anything wrong. Sada tells her that she didn't actually forget the book and that he thought they wouldn't have believed her if she said what really happened. Also, since he sits next to her, he has seen how she always tries her best, assuring her that there's nothing wrong with that. Upon hearing this, Kozuru can't help but start crying and tells him that she always ends up ruining everything. Since she was a child, she has always been very clumsy and says that she's really no good for anything. The more she tries, the worse things turn out. So, at the very least, she wants to avoid involving others. That's why, even though she feels lonely, she decided to continue like this since she thinks everything is her fault. That's why she said those things during her class introduction. But even so, she is happy because Sada told her today that she tries hard. He made her realize that there are people who can think that way about her. She then tells us what really happened on the day they met. She was trying to avoid a puddle and didn't see the banana peel. But he ended up saving her and she still ran away. Sada asks her if she didn't run away because he scared her. Since he is very tall and has an intimidating face, he thought he had frightened her. Kozuru tells him that she doesn't think he's terrifying. In fact, she thinks he's quite kind. Sada, surprised, says that no one outside of his family had ever told him something like that. He then thinks he should thank her, but we can see how Kozuru can't stop being scared every time someone talks to her. Sada tells her that his goal in high school is to enjoy his youth, so if she doesn't mind, he asks if she would like to enjoy it with him. Since he thinks that being alone is sad and even worse thinking that everything is your fault. So what he really wants to ask her is if she wants to be his friend. Kozuru gets so happy that she even starts to fly. She then accepts. At that moment, a ball is about to hit Sada in the face, but Kozuru jumps to cover him, taking the hit herself. Sada is worried about the huge blow, asking her why she did it. It would have been better if she had warned him and he could have dodged it. Kozuru agrees but tells him that at that moment she didn't think and just acted, ruining everything again. But this time it doesn't matter because she managed to protect a friend. Sada is smitten and wonders what this feeling he's experiencing is. The chapter ends with him saying that he finally has a friend, and even though she sometimes makes mistakes, Kozuru is a kind person who tries very hard. And well, friends, here ends the first chapter of this story. For the moment, there is only one chapter available. If you want me to keep bringing this story, I will ask for 50 likes. I will also leave the name pinned in the comments. Don't forget that if you like these videos, you can support me by subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in another video.